Welcome back to the channel. If you love emotional K-drama love stories filled with romance, heartbreak, and unforgettable moments, subscribe and join us for another beautiful journey. Have you ever met someone who changed your life in a single moment? For Kang Ji-won, that moment happened on a rainy spring afternoon in Seoul. Ji-won was a talented architect known for designing beautiful buildings. To everyone around him, he seemed successful and confident. But behind his calm smile was a man carrying a broken heart. 3 years earlier, he had lost his fiancée in a tragic accident. Since then, he had stopped believing in love. He focused only on work. No dates. No relationships. No emotional attachments. His friends worried about him, but nothing could change his mind. Then fate introduced him to Lee Hana. Hana was completely different. She worked as a music teacher at a small community center. She was cheerful, kind, and always found reasons to smile, even during difficult times. One rainy afternoon, Ji-won rushed into a bookstore to escape the storm. As he entered, he accidentally collided with someone carrying a stack of books. The books scattered across the floor. "Oh no," a soft voice cried. Ji-won immediately knelt down to help. "I'm sorry." "It's okay," the woman replied with a smile. When their eyes met, something unexpected happened. For a brief second, Ji-won felt his heart move in a way it hadn't for years. The woman was Hana. Viewers, do you believe some meetings are meant to happen? Because this one certainly felt special. After helping gather the books, Ji-won noticed one had been damaged by rain. Without hesitation, he bought a replacement copy. Hana laughed. "You don't have to do that." "I want to." That simple conversation lasted nearly an hour. Before leaving, they exchanged phone numbers. For the first time in years, Ji-won found himself smiling on the way home. Their friendship grew naturally. They visited bookstores together. Walked through cherry blossom parks. Shared coffee on quiet evenings. Hana loved listening to people. Ji-won loved the peace he felt around her. Slowly, the darkness inside his heart began to fade. Weeks turned into months. The connection between them became impossible to ignore. One evening, while watching the city lights from Namsan Tower, Hana asked a question. "Ji-won, what scares you most?" He looked away. "Losing someone I love." The answer surprised even him. Hana remained silent. Then she gently held his hand. "You can't stop living because you're afraid." Those words stayed with him. For the first time since his loss, Ji-won allowed himself to hope again. Eventually, their friendship blossomed into love. The happiest months of Ji-won's life followed. Everything felt perfect. Until one day, everything changed. Hana suddenly began canceling plans. She answered messages less frequently. She seemed tired. Distracted. Worried. Ji-won noticed immediately. Something was wrong. But every time he asked, she smiled and said she was fine. One evening, Ji-won arrived unexpectedly at the community center. Inside, he overheard a conversation that made his heart stop. A doctor was speaking with Hana. "Your condition is progressing faster than expected." Ji-won's world froze. Condition? What condition? After the doctor left, Hana noticed him standing nearby. Tears filled her eyes. She knew he had heard. That night, she finally revealed the truth. Months earlier, she had been diagnosed with a rare heart disease. The doctors couldn't predict how quickly it would worsen. She had hidden it because she didn't want anyone to worry. Especially Ji-won. His heart shattered. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to become a burden." "A burden?" he whispered. Hana began crying. "I was afraid." Ji-won pulled her into his arms. For several moments, neither spoke. Viewers, imagine discovering that the person you love is fighting a battle alone. What would you do? Ji-won made a decision that night. He would stay by her side no matter what happened. The following months were difficult. Hospital visits became common. Some days were hopeful. Others were heartbreaking. Yet through every challenge, their love grew stronger. Ji-won learned that real love isn't about perfect days. It's about staying during the difficult ones. One winter morning, Hana was admitted to the hospital unexpectedly. Her condition had worsened. Doctors recommended a risky surgery. There were no guarantees. The night before the operation, Ji-won sat beside her hospital bed. The room was quiet. Snow fell softly outside the window. Hana smiled weakly. "Can I ask you something?" "Anything. If tomorrow doesn't go well." Ji-won immediately interrupted. "Don't." But Hana continued. "If tomorrow doesn't go well, promise me you'll keep living." Tears filled his eyes. "I can't imagine life without you." Hana squeezed his hand. "You have to." The next morning arrived. Hours felt like years. Ji-won waited anxiously outside the operating room. Every minute seemed endless. Finally, the surgeon appeared. His expression revealed nothing. Ji-won's heart pounded. The surgeon smiled. The surgery was successful. Relief crashed over him like a wave. For the first time in days, he could breathe. Weeks later, Hana slowly recovered. Her strength returned. Her smile returned. And most importantly, hope returned. Spring arrived once again. Cherry blossoms covered the streets of Seoul. The same season in which they had first met. Ji-won invited Hana to the park where they had shared one of their earliest dates. The flowers danced gently in the breeze. Families laughed nearby. Children played beneath the trees. It felt like the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. Ji-won stopped walking. Hana turned toward him. He reached into his pocket. Her eyes widened. "Ji-won." He knelt on one knee. "You taught me that love is worth the risk." Tears immediately appeared in her eyes. "You taught me that happiness can return when we least expect it." People nearby began watching. Some smiled. Others quietly recorded the moment. But for Ji-won and Hana, the world disappeared. There was only them. "I don't know what the future holds," Ji-won said softly. "But I know I want every future moment to be with you." Hana covered her mouth. Then she nodded through her tears. "Yes." Cheers erupted around them. The cherry blossoms seemed to celebrate alongside them. Months later, they married surrounded by family and friends. Their journey had not been easy. It had included loss, fear, uncertainty, and pain. But it had also included courage, hope, and unconditional love. Years later, whenever someone asked how they stayed strong through difficult times, Hana always gave the same answer. Love isn't about finding someone who makes life perfect. It's about finding someone who stays when life becomes imperfect. And perhaps that is the true meaning of love. Not avoiding storms, but finding someone willing to stand beside you through every one of them. If you were Ji-won, would you have stayed despite knowing the risks? Think about it, and remember that sometimes the most beautiful love stories are the ones that overcome the hardest challenges. Thanks and subscribe to my YouTube channel.